What is your relationship with time? Are you wired and tired, stressed and overwhelmed, busy and going nowhere? Or just want to scale your business? Welcome to Take Back Time with your host, Penny Zenker. Penny focuses on books, strategies, tools, and tips to help you work smarter and approach your time more strategically. As a result, you can have more energy, focus, and get more done in less time. Be more efficient and effective. Get ready to take back time.
Hello, and welcome to this episode of Take Back Time. My name is Penny Zenker, and I'm your host. Today, we are interviewing Brian Sidorsky, who is an amazing entrepreneur. He's the founder and CEO of Lansdowne Equity Ventures, which is a highly profitable family-owned real estate business with operations in land banking, real estate development, and property management of commercial shopping centers and mobile home parks. But this man has made his fortune through being the largest retail furniture in Calgary, and just from his strategic way of thinking to be that smart investor with what he earned and he kept. You've heard of so many different entrepreneurs who have made millions, and he's at that $1 billion mark. And then you hear about all of them who have lost it. They've made it, they've lost it, they've made it again. And yes, we all make mistakes along the way, and we have to learn from those mistakes, and we want to learn from others who have made those mistakes. But one of the things I remember him saying in a dinner that we were at together is he said that, he always took counsel from those who made it and kept it. And that's who I want to learn from as well, is not necessarily those who lost it, even though I'm sure they have great stories and they also have some great experiences to learn from. I want to learn from the people who made it, kept it, and continued to build it, like Brian Sidorsky. And he's not just an investor. He doesn't only invest his time and energy in making money, he invests his time and energy in giving back. He is a chancellor for junior achievement worldwide, developing financial literacy across the world for our youth. So Brian has a world of experience, and he's also focused on making the world a better place. So I'm going to introduce you to Brian through an interview that I did with him briefly over breakfast together. And then I'll be back and share some wrap-up points around my discussion with Brian. This is Brian Sidorsky. This guy is amazing, genius. And I'm with him here, and he started to share his wisdom. I'm like, wait, we have to share this because people need to hear what he has to say. Brian is Chief Chancellor,
Junior Achievement, JA Worldwide, University of Success. So we are putting together a curriculum program to teach the world how to fish. So we're teaching financial literacy in 127 countries and 10 million students a year.
And this man is super modest. He is mega successful. Works on incredible deals around the world. Made your fortune on furniture, right? Furniture company?
We had the largest retail furniture and appliance store in Calgary at one time. We have 2 smaller stores now in the area. I'm not involved in the day-to-day, but I have partners that run those. We're in the mobile home park business. We just sold that recently. We're in commercial shopping centers and land development and subdivision development in the Calgary area.
So this guy knows a thing or two about business. Really smart investor, right? So he built his fortune by getting the proceeds from that and then investing, right? Being smart in his investments. And so I wanted to share with you guys on Facebook today, when you want to learn from somebody, you want to learn from somebody who's done it, who's been there, and understand what makes him tick to see what kind of success principles that you can take away and implement in your own life. So, Brian, you were just going to share with us about multitasking.
About multitasking, imagine that you've got a magnifying glass and you're trying to burn a hole from the sun in a piece of paper. So we're talking about multitasking, putting your energy in focus. So if I said, look, can you burn a hole in that paper, but I don't want you to burn one hole, I want you to burn 3 holes and burn them all at the same time.
Okay.
When the moment you take your focus off, you're multitasking, you have to stop what you're doing.
Right.
And you start the next one. And it doesn't complete this one, and this one starts, and I said, no, move to the next one. So if you're going back and forth, you're multitasking, you're not completing any of those tasks. There's no such thing as multitasking that's ever going to be effective. You need to start and finish one project at a time. So prioritize, start and complete each task, and you'll accomplish a lot more each day in your productivity.
So simple, but so true, right? How many of us are splitting our attention, splitting our focus across multiple things, and really not completing and not giving our full energy and thought and attention? Now, I would fold that paper into 3 parts,
And I would then gear that through so that at the end I would have 3 holes. Sometimes you got to think strategically in the way that you approach something. So that goes to Einstein's thought, is that if you take time to plan up front, so instead of multitasking and doing it the hard way and then never achieving your result, if you think about something smarter, then you're going to get the result a lot faster.
No, that's very profound. In fact, I'd never even considered to have to get outside the 9 dots to draw those lines together. You all know about the 9 dots, so I would assume we all do. But you get outside of your normal thinking and creative thinking, as say, let's fold the paper. But if it was a piece of wood that you couldn't fold up, but again, there's always another application. But it was just the idea about productivity and multitasking. Do one task at a time. Start and complete each task. And do it as creatively as you can. Yeah. And certainly if you're going to make a suit, and you might as well when we're building furniture, they lay out the cloth to do one set of, say, a sofa. They do the cutting, they'll layer as many as 50 sofa cuts on one laser cut, and then they'll cut all 50. There's no question. That's your productivity.
Right, absolutely.
So you think, a way of multiplying your productivity. In the manufacturing process or in your day-to-day.
Or in any process. Right?
Yeah.
In any process. Awesome. Yeah. Any other tips on what helps you to take back your time? That's the name of my new podcast that's coming up, Take Back Time. What would you say last tip?
I don't think you can get it back once you've spent it. So it's like...
Well, if you work smarter, then you take it back in the context of you can spend it more wisely.
I think you have to spend it wisely right at the time of spending it, because I think once you spend it, I don't think you can get it back.
No, you can't. But I guess I'm meaning in the context of when you think smarter and you approach things from a more strategic perspective, then you're actually saving yourself time. So that's what I meant by take back time.
A couple of nuggets I will share with you. Everybody should read the book Think and Grow Rich, number 1.
Amazing
and then
book.
The major book by Napoleon Hill. If you only do this much today, but you go online and look up Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, narrated by Earl Nightingale. It's a 39-minute audio, and you'll listen to that 4 or 5 times. It will absolutely change your life. I read the book over 500 times, and I tell you, I get something new every time I read it.
Well, I'm going to go online and do that, because the version that I got, I think it was like 10 hours long.
No, it's only 39 minutes. And there's another one called The Strangest Secret by Earl Nightingale as well. Earl Nightingale, a wonderful, wonderful man who's no longer on the planet, but his amazing wisdom is something I've become an ardent student of and benefit greatly.
Distractions are the enemy of productivity. Go to distractionquiz.com and find out your distraction profile. Are you a time zombie or a hamster? Take this free distraction quiz today to rate your ability to focus on what keeps you from being a wizard. Go to distractionquiz.com.
From it.
Awesome. So there you have it. From a great, successful man, he's telling you that one of the keys to success is to read other people's successful tips and tricks, mindset. What can you learn from others? Because you don't need to have all the answers. You just need to, what was the expression that Greg Reed said this weekend? It's take counsel from those who have been there and done it. So
the last words I'll leave with you is, as Napoleon Hill, whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. You visualize it, you have a passion for it, write down whatever it is you want, find out what you really, really, really want and why you want it, write that down with a time and a date, and keep looking at it. Put it on your mirror, put those goals right in front of you, look at them, download them into your subconscious mind, and you will absolutely find that you have achieved those results in those time frames that you've created.
Absolutely. Well, there you have it. Brian Sidorsky, thank you so much.
Thank you.
So what did you take away from Brian Sidorsky, who is a major entrepreneur who built his fortune and kept it? And his goal was to reach $1 billion. And he's reaching his goal. And not only that, but he's making an impact worldwide on financial literacy by being a chancellor for junior achievement around the world. So what did you learn? He talked about 2 things. And the funny thing is with my interview last week, we talked to Heidi Hanna talking about multitasking. And from a doctor's perspective, a brain perspective, how multitasking is really not optimal, not effective. Now, Brian's coming at it from a successful entrepreneur's perspective, and he's telling you that whenever you split your time and attention and your energy and your focus, that you're not going to get the result that you want. So clean and simple, you prioritize. And by prioritizing, it means give your time and attention to one task and complete it, and then move on to the next. Simple, yet that's the recipe for success from Brian Sidorsky, Billionaire. So I would kind of take that and say, okay, well, if it works for him, then it's probably going to work for me too. So Get more conscious of where you're multitasking and stop and break it down. Because right now what's happening is that you're doing it unconsciously. It's just kind of like an autopilot that you're managing these multiple things, running from this screen to that screen and looking at different activities at the same time. So be aware of that. And every time you catch yourself doing it, right, like with any habit or pattern of thought, is break it. Because that's the way, if you have a record or a CD that's playing, it plays the same song over and over again. And that's what happens in our brain, is that we repeat the same thoughts over and over and over again. Actually, we have 70,000 thoughts a day. And the key thing is only 5% of those thoughts are new. So that's a confirmation that we are repeating the same thoughts over and over again. So we need to be in control of what's being repeated, so we are deliberate that that's what's impacting us in a positive way and moving us towards what we want in our life versus sabotaging us from the very things that we want. So get conscious of what those thoughts are and what those patterns are. And then if you find yourself multitasking, break that thought and say no and come back to the one task that you're prioritizing. And every time you break it, you come back to the task and you'll find that you'll become more focused over time, because it's like an addiction. When you're addicted to something like your phone or, some type of distraction, and that's another episode in itself, when you recognize it, you're going to reduce the number of times. You're going to find it faster and you're going to shift it. And the more that you break that pattern, the less it's going to show up. It may still show up. So if you find yourself 10 times a day multitasking, then as you practice this and being aware of it and creating consciousness around it, well, the next day you might find that you're only doing it 8 times. And the day after that, you're only doing it 6 times and so forth. So you want to be able to recognize your progress as those impulses to do it are reducing down, so that you can get more clarity and more focus. I just did the same exercise with a client of mine, and within 1 week, he was already 20% more productive because he was able to reduce the number of impulses to be distracted and to multitask. So that's the first thing that Brian shared with us, was to prioritize and stick with each task and complete each task. Then we talked about another aspect, which was, thinking about things, taking a little bit more time to plan up front how you're going to approach something so you can use a more strategic approach. A little bit more time up front is going to help you to identify how you could create leverage. How can I do this in a smarter way so that I can do it faster, so that I can do it more effectively? And that is, at the end of the game, going to help you to take back time. And lastly, important advice and counsel from this genius was simply to take counsel from those like himself or other greats who have been successful and are teaching the principles of success. And he mentioned Napoleon Hill, Earl Nightingale doing a reading of Napoleon Hill's work. I highly suggest that you click on that link and that you go and listen to that. Not just once, but many times. You heard him say he listened to it 100 times because he was deliberately changing the way that he's thinking by listening to that. That's going to have an impact for you because you're going to start to think more like that. And it's those principles of thinking that helped him to be smarter in the way that he approached things, to be more deliberate in getting what he wants. And so that's going to be your assignment for this week, is to go listen to that audio and to listen to it once a week. It's 35 minutes or something like that. So you can fit that into your schedule once a week. Listen to it for the next 4 weeks. Just take 1 month and listen to it 4 times. I'd love to hear how this changes your life and what specifically do you see changing for yourself. Potentially just because of that, you're going to multitask less. You're going to be more concentrated on what you want and focused with your attention and energy and blocking out distractions. You're going to be thinking at a higher frequency, so you're going to be open to greater possibilities. I'm so excited to hear what this does for you. So that's your assignment for this week, is to listen to the audio from Earl Nightingale. It's about 35 minutes, and it's going to be about Think and Grow Rich. That's from Napoleon Hill. You're going to listen to it once a week, so that's 4 times over a month, and then you're going to report back to us on our Facebook page. So those are the tips from Brian Sidorsky, who's created a huge fortune by thinking smarter and investing and doing the things that helped him to keep his fortune alive and to grow it. It's to be focused and energized. So that's it for today's episode. I look forward to having you on further episodes to have more tips and tricks about how you can take back time. This is Penny Zenker, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Thank you for listening. Today's topic is another opportunity for you to put the knowledge you learned into practice. Tune in again next week for more strategies that will help you have more energy and focus to get more done in less time, so you can continue to take back time.